The difference between a dream and a goal is a deadline. How many of you have dreams? Dreams are wonderful. They allow your mind to soar beyond the boundaries of your current reality. But a dream alone will not bring you success. You must transform your dreams into goals by attaching deadlines and creating an action plan to achieve them. Otherwise, your dreams are just fantasies that will never be realized. I ask you, what dreams are you nurturing inside that you haven't yet set deadlines for? What incredible visions for your future are just drifting aimlessly without a plan of execution? You owe it to yourself to take those dreams seriously and start making them real goals today. Now, don't get me wrong. Setting goals doesn't guarantee success either. You can set all the goals in the world, but if you don't have the burning desire to make them happen, you will just spin your wheels. Desire is the fuel that powers the vehicle of achievement. Without an intense, all-consuming desire, your goals are just empty targets that you will never hit. So let me ask you, what dreams are you pursuing with true, unbridled, uncompromising desire? What visions for your future light a raging fire within you that can't be extinguished? Identify those fervent desires and focus all your energy on turning them into concrete goals to be achieved. Of course, even with powerful goals fueled by intense desire, success is not guaranteed. You must develop the self-discipline to take consistent action every single day towards your goals. One step at a time, brick by brick, you build the foundation for achievement. But you must be relentless. The moment you start making exceptions to your productive habits is the moment you begin stumbling. What daily disciplines do you need to instill to make steady progress towards your biggest goals and dreams? How committed are you to sticking to your process rather than becoming distracted by temporary pleasure? Only you can muster the self-discipline required. Remember that we're shooting for lofty dreams here. The kind of visions that seem crazy and unrealistic to most people. If your goals don't make some people question your sanity, you aren't dreaming big enough. Safe, incremental goals will only allow you to live a life of quiet desperation. You were put on this earth to experience achievement that utterly astounds you. So I ask you, what seemingly impossible dreams are you harboring? That would make the average person gasp in disbelief. What goals seem so preposterously out of reach that most would tell you to be realistic? Identify those wildly audacious dreams and refuse to let them go. Because here's the reality. Every person who has ever accomplished the outrageous and exceptional had to start by conceptualizing the inconceivable. Every revolutionary breakthrough began with a dream that looked like madness at first. So foster your biggest, boldest, most unreasonable dreams and let that be the first step. Of course, having gargantuan dreams and intense desire will only get you so far. You need skills to back it up. You can't reasonably expect outrageous success in any arena without developing world-class skills through dedicated study and practice. So adopt a lifelong learning mindset and commit to sharpening your talents relentlessly. What skills will you need to master to turn your craziest dreams into reality? How many hours of practice and training lie ahead for you? Sacrificing leisure today for knowledge will determine how much you'll be able to achieve tomorrow. Stay a perpetual student. Speaking of sacrifice, are you willing to endure the pain required to live out your dreams? Consider what you may have to give up in terms of money, relationships, location, or comfort. The path to greatness runs directly through a long, arduous trench of sacrifice. Very few achieve their biggest dreams without first traveling through the valleys of intense struggle. What short-term pleasures are you willing to forfeit for your loftiest aspirations? What difficulties and agonies are you prepared to withstand to live an extraordinary life? Greatness has an admission fee, and that fee is paid in sacrifice, sweat, and suffering. Those unwilling to run that gauntlet will be forever relegated to lives of mediocrity. Of course, even if you have massive dreams, an intense desire, steadfast discipline, expert skills, and the tenacity to sacrifice, you still might face setbacks, failures, and temporary defeat along the way. In fact, you can absolutely count on it. The road to great success is lined with more difficulties than you can fathom from where you currently stand. So develop an unshakable resilience and ability to endure the toughest blows. Rejection, embarrassment, disaster, and crying yourself to sleep will all be part of the process at times. The ability to get knocked down and keep getting back up is the difference between giving up and reaching the finish line. What have been some of the biggest obstacles and setbacks you've already faced while pursuing your biggest aspirations? How did you respond? Do you allow it to derail you or strengthen your resolve? Treat every failure as an opportunity to become tougher, wiser, and more tenacious. Finally, surrounding yourself with the right environment of encouragement and support will be critical. You cannot realistically expect to manifest unbelievable dreams without also carefully curating the people you spend time with. Negative voices breed doubt, but uplifting peers reinforce self-belief. So take stock. Which of your friends, co-workers, and family members unconditionally believe in your ability to achieve the seemingly impossible? And which ones, whether consciously or not, are sources of discouragement and pessimism that threaten to erode your confidence? You absolutely must protect your dream-pursuing environment with great vigilance. At the end of the day, only you can choose whether you will settle for aiming low and achieving moderate comfort, or grappling mightily to breathe life into the grandest visions your mind can conceive. Only you get to decide if petty pleasures today are worth trading for phenomenal achievements tomorrow. History is written by the daring few who embrace the struggles of greatness rather than remaining in the restful slumber of mediocrity. Tend diligently to the biggest dreams that set your heart ablaze. Guard and nurture them like delicate seedlings. Water them with intense desire. Enrich them through sacrifice. And give them light from the fire of steadfast discipline. As you navigate inevitable storms of adversity, protect those dreams within the greenhouse of supportive people and persevering faith. For only when cultivated with such vigilant care can your loftiest dreams flourish into an extraordinarily fruitful, abundantly rewarding, and brilliantly blossoming life. The choice to merely exist and dream or to actually achieve and live out those dreams is yours and yours alone to make. Dare to dream big, and may you have the courage to relentlessly transform those dreams into reality. Now, I know some of you may be feeling inspired by these words, but also a bit overwhelmed. You're probably wondering how you can radically reshape your mindset to dream outrageously big when you've grown so accustomed to capping your ambitions. You look at the massively successful titans of industry, groundbreaking innovators, and cultural icons, and you can't fathom elevating your aspirations to their stratospheric levels. Their achievements seem superhuman to you. But here's a critical perspective shift I need you to embrace. Those icons you admire so much aren't superhuman. They were born with the same human capabilities and limitations as you. The only difference is that they made very different choices with their time, energy, and mindset compared to the typical person. While others idly dreamed and passively hoped, they aggressively committed to making their visions a reality through sheer discipline and relentless execution. The formula is simple. Dream bigger than you ever thought possible. Then match that big dream energy with big work energy and an unstoppable refusal to retreat. Your loftiest ambitions are only unattainable if you choose to make them so through resigning yourself to mediocrity. You absolutely possess the capacity to reshape your life into something extraordinary if you completely dedicate yourself to the pursuit. Of course, This will require shedding many limiting beliefs and conditioned thought patterns that currently restrict the scope of what you permit yourself to dream about achieving. How many times have you caught yourself saying, "That's just not realistic for someone like me"? How often do you dismiss outrageous possibilities as unattainable fantasies before even trying? Those mental prisons must be torn down and replaced with a conviction that you can and will achieve the wildly improbable. Excise phrases like "I could never" or "that's just not in the cards for me" from your vocabulary. Every time you think or speak those disempowering words, you hammer another nail into the coffin, confining your immense potential. Life has an amazing way. If you want experiences that match your predominant thoughts and self-perception. So if you want to start manifesting magnificence, you must strip away the psychological constraints reinforcing smallness. What areas of your mindset contain the most restrictive beliefs about your abilities and what's possible? Is it career advancement, business success, financial prosperity, relationships, and lifestyle? Identify the mental prisons you've allowed to be constructed. Then hammer them down with a conscious decision to believe bigger. Because the strongest steel bars in the world can't confine the person who absolutely refuses to be imprisoned. While you're at it, upgrade the environment around you to include more dream-enhancing influences. Just as limiting beliefs can constrain your aspirations, the company you keep plays a pivotal role too. Grow a composite of the inputs around you. Surround yourself with small-minded people with tiny ambitions, and that cramped perspective will infiltrate your consciousness and restrict what you dream about. So be highly selective about who you allow to pour their doubts and fears into your consciousness. Those who mock your mammoth goals and try to drag you back to the confines of average mediocrity must be cut out like a cancer. Replace them with other highly motivated dream chasers who nurture a supportive peer environment where your loftiest ambitions are not only accepted, but relentlessly encouraged to expand. Too often people fail to achieve their dreams, not because the dreams were too big, but because the environments were too small and toxic. You simply must curate an ecosystem that allows your grandest visions to continually stretch farther outward rather than being incessantly pressured to shrink. Otherwise, you'll wake up 20 years from now shackled by the limitations others imposed on your imagination. On the other hand, being around peers who expect greatness from themselves and each other inspires you to elevate the scope of what you dare to pursue. Iron sharpens iron, ambition compounds ambition. Surround yourself with dreamers who routinely achieve the impossible. And suddenly what looked ridiculously out of reach starts feeling inevitable. That's the environment you need to immerse yourself in. And when those dreams grow so massive that your confidence starts wavering, let the stories of others who defied the odds replenish your self-belief. Read or watch the biographies of people who overcame nightmarish adversity, yet still achieved jaw-dropping feats. Study how they resurrected from the brink of defeat and kept charging towards their vision. Let their examples be the antidote to any self-doubt poisoning your mind. Just look at the journey of Walt Disney, the iconic pioneer of animation and entertainment that we all know today. Most people don't realize he was fired from a newspaper for lacking creativity and had his original iteration of Mickey Mouse rejected by distributors over 300 times. His wife was forced to secretly take out a loan to keep them afloat when he was living off scraps in a friend's garage. If Walt let go of his impossible vision through those tortuous setbacks, today's cultural landscape would look entirely different. Or consider Colonel Harlan Sanders and the Kentucky Fried Chicken empire. At age 65, Sanders found himself broke and living on just a $105 Social Security check after a courtroom battle with a dishonest business partner. But despite having zero business experience, meager funds, and his dream seeming delusional for a man of his age. Sanders persisted in his vision to franchise his secret chicken recipe to the world. He crisscrossed the country sleeping in his car and wearing his iconic white suit to win over skeptical restaurateurs, hearing no over 1,000 times before his first yes. Yet he kept believing in the impossible until KFC became one of the biggest brands on earth. Stories like these reinforce the immutable truth that greatness does not stem from incredible giftedness or impossibly fortunate circumstance. It emerges from ordinary people who choose to pursue extraordinarily ambitious visions with dogged perseverance that defies all odds and skeptics. These titans start out no more capable than you, but they stretch their self-belief to dream to ridiculous proportions, then poured unrelenting effort into manifesting those huge visions. So what makes you any different? What's stopping you from carving your name into history alongside those icons? The only limitations that exist are the ones you choose to accept for yourself. Every excuse you use to dismiss your ability to drastically elevate your dreams and pursue audacious achievements is a self-imposed barrier that others have blasted straight through. All the sacrifices and rejections they overcame are just par for the course in heroically charging towards massively unreasonable goals. The choice boils down to this. Do you want to spend the rest of your life dreaming minuscule, unexciting dreams that reduce you to a forgettable speck of cosmic dust? Or will you dream with such grand, courageous, death-defying ambition that shakes the ground you walk on and rattles the core of those around you? Will you awaken each day, dedicating your entire existence to manifesting greatness through lofty goals that make others question your sanity? Or will you sleepwalk robotically towards a quiet, comfortable, painfully lukewarm existence? Because I can guarantee you this: no extraordinary success story in human history began with someone simply hoping for better days and playing it safe. They all started with individuals peering over the cliff's edge and jumping headfirst into the chasm of the impossible with insane belief and commitment. It takes audacious dreamers utterly consumed with blazing the trail rather than following well-worn paths. So become that person if you aren't already. Dare to dream with catastrophic. Bet the ranch, burn the ship's audacity. Look at the wildest, most preposterous ambitions dancing in the depths of your imagination and make the terrifying choice to say, yes, I will devote every fiber of my being to making those insane visions a reality. No matter how many setbacks or how much ridicule tries to deter me. Once you make that resolute decision, you'll be amazed at how sharply your consciousness shifts to manifest what you fixate on. You don't just stumble into greatness. You must choose to thunderously create it through relentlessly actualizing the realm of the dreams. That seemed most impossible yet exhilarating. Those who achieve legendary, once-in-a-era triumph refuse to dream anything less. What will be your destiny? Will you dream big enough to immortalize your legacy? Or will you sadly fade into obscurity despite your unrecognized brilliance? The choice is yours, and yours alone. If you have the audacity to play full out and bet colossal that you will achieve seemingly impossible dreams through sheer want power, then step boldly into that arena. I can promise the risk of attempting immortality is better than the regret of whimpering your way through a lukewarm existence. So dream big, more massively, more disruptively, more outrageously than you ever gave yourself permission to before. Soak your soul in visions of legendary accomplishment so vivid they electrify you to your core. Then take those dreams and wage furious, unrelenting war to breath life into them through whatever sacrifice and turmoil it takes. For when you boldly walk that colossal dream path, victory may get redefined along the way, but your place in history will be indelibly etched as someone who mattered in this universe. And that, to me, is what it means to truly live before you die. I know what some of you might be thinking. This all sounds great in theory. But how can I realistically take massive action towards outrageous dreams when I'm already overwhelmed just dealing with life's daily grind? I get it. Between work, family obligations, bills to pay, and the general exhaustion of just keeping your head above water, it can feel almost impossible to find time and energy to pour into extraordinary goals on top of everything else. The tyranny of the urgent bullies out the extraordinarily important day after day. But here's a truth you need to etch into your mind. If you want to experience unprecedented achievements in your life, you must disobey the default patterns that keep the masses stuck in mediocrity. You cannot continue going along with the conventional herd behaviors of trading your most precious resources, your time and energy, for somber cycles of chronic busyness and fatigue. Playing by those rules will only allow you to remain a passive participant in someone else's dream. No, you must make the difficult, controversial, socially unpopular choice to rebuild your life around unapologetically chasing the visions that awaken you with profound purpose and exhilaration. You must get radically selfish with your personal energy and obsessively self-protective with how you spend the limited hours of your days. Because every moment you spend recovering from soul-sucking pursuits rather than actively constructing your dreams is another opportunity lost on the road to greatness. I'm sure you can think of plenty of necessary priorities that consume the bulk of your life force. But are they really necessary? Or have you simply conditioned yourself into a self-perpetuating routine that quickly drains your dream-chasing vigor? Ask yourself this tough question. How much more energy and time could you reclaim for your biggest ambitions if you ruthlessly audited and reconstructed your day-to-day patterns? It's time to take a brutally honest look at your typical schedule and distinguish what's actually vital from what's just busy-making, time-wasting, energy-sapping fat that needs to get cut off with a machete. That 2-hour block of mindless social media scrolling at night. Unnecessary. Those 3 hours spent binging forgettable entertainment after work. Unnecessary. Constantly saying yes to distracting social commitments with people who don't propel you towards your dreams. Unnecessary. This isn't about becoming a ruthless robot that cuts out all rest and leisure. You absolutely do need to build in rejuvenating self-care practices. This is about stripping away all the unnecessary energy leaks, time bandits, and trivial pursuits that clog up your schedule and leave you too depleted to bleed progress into your biggest dreams. It's time to overhaul your environment and reclaim your peak energy distributions to be a heat-seeking, heat-generating, dream-making missile. It's time to contentiously fight to unshackle the extraordinary within you that will be perpetually constrained until you exert full control over your daily life pattern. No more binging on behaviors and routines that drain you while giving you mere crumbs of surface-level entertainment and cheap, hollow pleasures in return. Start using that reclaimed time and vigor to persistently chip away at the audacious ambitions that make your heart pump hot, feverish blood. Pour that remastered energy into developing yourself into an unstoppable juggernaut through maniacal focus on continual education and skill acquisition. Use that reclaimed time to ravenously consume the stories and teachings of others who achieved greatness against all odds, so their heroic examples can keep you progressing through your own adversities. Because the fundamental reality is that dreaming big alone will not make it so, not without the dedicated follow-through to back it up. All dishing and positive visualization means nothing if you don't start actively sacrificing your daily behaviors and schedules on the altars of those huge ambitions. At some point, you have to go to war with distracting routines and energy-leaking patterns if you want to ascend from the ordinary into the extraordinary. So prepare your mind and body for that battle. It will be uncomfortable and require difficult lifestyle adjustments as you retrain yourself into a single-minded dream-achieving machine. Friends, family, and society will look at you like you're crazy when you start shedding environments and relationships that waste your vigor or discourage your grand ambitions. But you must stubbornly turn a deaf ear to those who would reduce your ability to make the intense sacrifices required. Start preparing now to become uncompromising, unapologetic, and relentlessly self-protective with your gifts, talents, energy distributions, and mental real estate. Everything is on the negotiating table to be sacrificed for your biggest visions. Trivial habits, toxic relationships, draining obligations, soulless obligations. Start assessing which of these can be pruned away, limited, or fortified against, so you don't start losing fuel in your dream-chasing engine. Because when you finally start making these difficult adjustments, then you will experience life like never before. By treating your personal energy as the most precious commodity you have, you will find yourself starting to achieve more in a few focused hours than most produce in an entire week. Your gargantuan dream-fueled productivity will soar as you continually redirect effort from depleting busy work towards meaningful, exciting, life-giving endeavors aligned with your colossal visions. Suddenly, mediocre achievements that once felt like major accomplishments now pale tremendously because your sights are trained so far into the stratosphere. Activities, relationships, and environments that formerly drained you will be powerless to encumber your relentless progress because you've stripped them of their taxing impacts on your time and energy. Like a guided missile, you'll start feeling intoxicated by the sheer acceleration of chasing your wildest dreams as you hack away resistance. Walls, you hack away resistance. You will take extreme ownership of the limited duration of your life and refuse to watch it drain senselessly into forgettable busyness and ignored potential. Day by day, your sense of personal urgency will intensify as you bask in the compounded progress, aligning you closer to those huge ambitions, and you realize just how capable you are of activating incredible feats. And as confidence skyrockets, the gravitational force of your dreams will transform from a relentless uphill battle into a rip-roaring downhill sprint fueled by increasing momentum. Progress will start snowballing because you systematically removed all the friction points and weights slowing you down. You will be unstoppable, a runaway freight train of achievement carving an inspiring path to outrageous accomplishments most people wouldn't dare dream about. Of course, none of this empowering progress happens unless you take that critical first step to reconstruct your life and schedules around dream-chasing principles. It all starts with that initial terrifying leap to value and fiercely protect your energy above all else, to respect yourself enough to remodel everything around you with a singularity of focus on fulfilling unrestrained aspirations. It's the only way those dreams, taking up precious real estate in your imagination, can escape into reality. Half-hearted interest and sporadic effort simply won't alchemize unlimited potential into tangible triumph. Only a profound revolution of lifestyle habits and priorities can give your biggest dreams the concentrated energy required to truly take. So this is your call to incite that internal uprising, to burn down the scheduled bondages and behavioral patterns that suppress your highest capabilities. This is your wake-up call to build your days around maximizing the momentum that births unprecedented feats rather than another string of unsurprising, forgettable achievements. No more wavering foot in both worlds, one in a harbor of mediocrity and comfort, one dangling towards the sea of achievement and adventure. It's time to commit yourself fully in mind, body, schedule, and lifestyle to pursue the outrageous dreams you've been privately nurturing but lack the courage to operate at their required level of intensity. Rise up and refuse to cooperate with the routines, environments, and relationships that suppress the full blaze of your aspirations any longer. Remake your life with defiant, single-minded devotion to the grandest ambitions that summon you to become all you can be rather than another muted statistic sleepwalking towards an unfulfilling grave. For that is the tragic ending that awaits if you cannot heroically transform your sworn enemy of energy misallocation into your greatest personal development. The more you defend your dreams by fiercely protecting your energy reserves, the closer you move towards immortalizing yourself through achievements that make a dent in this universe. The choice to burn that blaze blindingly bright or let it die a flameless spectral whimper ultimately comes down to you, and you alone. So, dream big, burn brighter, and never settle for landing anywhere short of manifesting all the greatness in your wildest, most far-flung fantasies. The path will be intense, exhausting, and trying. But the reward of realizing just how incredibly capable you are of exceeding your own loftiest expectations is worth whatever upheaval is required to get there. You've got this. Now go make your biggest dreams happen